Hello, in this Web Development Basics, we're going to look at positioning elements on the screen and CSS using the relative position. Alright, so we have a pretty basic setup here. We have two boxes that are essentially just divs where you set the width and height. And if I refresh this, there we go, we have the red box and then the green box. And the reason we get that is because we have the red box there and then the green box there, and they just get positioned just one after the other, because I haven't indicated anything. The position is considered static. Well, it turns out I can also use this position called relative. So if I take the red box and I say I want you to make the position relative, well, what does that mean? What this means is that I'm going to position this relative to where the default would be positioned. So right now, if I just set the position of the box red to relative, nothing happens, because essentially it's saying relative to where you want to put it. It wants to put the red box right there with the top left corner. But what I can do now is I can kind of play around. So let's say, for example, I want to put this red box so that it sits right next to the green box here. Well, I know that the red box has a height and width of 100. So if I take this top left corner and I come 100 down and 100 to the left, then the red box would sit right next to that. And the way we do that is we say top is 100 px. So what that means is it says I want you to set the top of this as 100 px relative to where it would be, and the left is going to be 100 px. And what that means is I want you to take the top left side, so the top side and the left side, and I want you to move it 100 pixels. Again, this is the positive direction down and this is the positive direction right. We want you to move it 100 pixels down and 100 pixels to the left. Cool. And if I refresh this, there we go. Now, I could do a bunch of things here. I could say something like, I want you to make this, let's delete that top. I could say something like, right 20 pixels. And so what is this doing now? Well, now what it's doing is taking the right-hand side of this and it's positioning it 20 pixels relative to where it would be. And I could do something like bottom 20 pixels. And I refresh this. So what it's done is it's taken the right-hand side and it's moved it 20 pixels to the right relative to where it was going to be, and it's taken the bottom and moved it 20 pixels up relative to where it was supposed to be. So let's see what happens if we add a negative value here. So notice I can add a negative value here, and it actually means take the bottom and move it 20 down. So it takes a little playing around, but the key thing is that this position relative, it essentially means take whatever the position by default it would be put in, and then you can shift the top, bottom, left, and right however you want. So if I wanted to put the red below, I want to take this red square and put it below the green square, I could do something like top is 100 down. And, oh, did I save this? That did not work. Take a look. Top is 100 down. Oh, I forgot the pixels. Now that's not going to work actually, because what it does, it puts the red right on top. I want to move it 200 down. There it is. Now let's think of another way I could do this. If I take the top and I move the top 200 pixels down, relative to where I want to put it, I could do this another way. I could take the bottom and I could move the bottom negative 200 down. And that gives me the exact same effect because, again, it's just relative to where the bottom was. The best way to figure this out is to do a little playing around yourself. And with that said, I hope this helped. Have a wonderful day.